Hey everyone, it's Don Owen here. Listen, I'm not sure why I really take it upon myself to point out absurd comments people sometimes make regarding personal financial matters, but I do. I think it's because I see so many people make false statements with an authoritative voice, thus potentially misguiding people who want to truly make better financial decisions for themselves. Let me read you a recent post from a contributor to the popular car enthusiast site, jalopnik.com. And I've included the link in the video here if you want to take a look at it for yourself. Here's what the writer states. A little less than 4 years ago, I agreed to accept $9,600 from Bank of America at an interest rate of 4.24% so that I could buy a 2008 Honda Fit from a friend. This morning, I paid it off. I have had, in other words, a lot of time to contemplate the deep stupidity of taking out a loan on an asset that begins depreciating immediately. Now, he goes on to state that he paid roughly $854 in interest, thus a grand total of $10,454 for a car that now has a Kelley Blue Book value of about $2,600. Now, the writer points out that he didn't have the $9,600 lying around to begin with, so he didn't really have a choice in the matter. But even so, the only evidence I see here of deep stupidity is his obvious lack of understanding of financial management, personal financial management. In short, he fails to comprehend the concept of what economists refer to as opportunity cost. Simply stated, opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. In fact, let me use his own numbers here to illustrate this point. All right? Let's assume that he had $9,600 to spend on his car. And rather than spending it on the car, he had invested it in a dividend-paying stock that's paying per share more than 5% annually, or right at 5% annually. Now, you think those are hard to find? Well, let's take a look. As of the closing bell Monday, this past Monday, AT&T is yielding 5.45%, Tanger Factory Outlets is yielding 6.07%, and Iron Mountain is yielding 7.35%. And that's just, a few stocks. There's dozens out there that have that kind of yield. But let's just use the base case of a more conservative 5% return. At the end of year one, that $9,600, if he'd invested it, is going to be worth $10,080. At the end of year two, it will be $10,584, assuming the dividends were reinvested. At the end of year three, we have $11,113, and at the end of year four, $11,668 and some cents. So if he had invested the $9,600 for 4 years at 5% compounded annual return, he would have $2,068 more than the $9,600. Even at, say, a 25% income tax paid on the dividends, he would still be up $1,551. And if you're saying, but his loan cost him $854 interest over the 4 years, well, you're correct. So take the $854 cost of capital away, and he's still up $697 at the end of the 4 years financing versus if he had spent all the money on the car at once. Look, I'm not trying to convince anyone to take on debt. Everyone has to do what makes him or her comfortable. Some people simply don't like having any debt, and I totally respect that. For me, in my financial decision making, if the cost of borrowing money is equal to or less than the amount of money I can otherwise make on that principal, I'm going to borrow the money every time. I fully understand the concept of opportunity cost. And it's not just a theory, it is real money. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons I see people who are otherwise very smart with their finances not fully realize their true wealth potential over time. If you have any questions or comments, please send them to me either on this post, or if you would prefer in another way, just send it to me in private message. And again, hey, thank you for listening.